Hi guys, the name is igorkodurman and I'm watching Google just decided every AI tool on the planet in the 24 hours with its free AI, all 20 plus updates. By web have 60. You know what to do, come on, subscribe and Google.
Alright guys, we are at Google I/O right now. This is me, Webhub, in real flesh, not my AI avatar this time. And there are some incredible things that Google has already dropped. I had an opportunity to kind of, experience
experiencing things. And
all of them before everyone else.
Point.
And honestly, this is the single biggest set of AI updates any company has released in 24 hours ever. So
yes, a lot of updates for AI, for Google, because they are quite infamous because of their fact that their AI search was cringe and it was so bad, and people just were overusing it so much that they had to limit its usage.
We've shortlisted over 20 major announcements to share with you, with a detailed dive in on a few important tools.
AI is moving from predicting text to simulating reality.
Yes, and there are already creating as well programs that are simulating, for example, proteins, and able to simulate various environments, and they can be trained there. And when they are trained, when the AI is trained there, you can just basically put it into robots, and so they can just basically able to get obtain new tasks, skills.
But the real breakthrough isn't the technology. It's what you do with it.
Right.
And you can see this in Google's drops this year. They have saved millions by predicting natural disasters and provided all its tools for free, so we all can leverage them and transform our lives. But that's the least of it. Google has also decided to compete with Mark Zuckerberg this year and tackle his Meta Ray-Ban glasses, which were the only tool showing us that the future of AI lives on your face. And the new release might just completely beat Meta's product line. My team and I sat through the entire keynote to get the best of every announcement for you. And one tool in there made me genuinely surprised: Google's anti-gravity. So we pushed it to build us something amazing. That's the one
Gravity, I heard about it. It's basically some super orchestrator tool that will be able to orchestrate, basically use multiple agentic LLMs.
You to watch. And if you want an even faster version of these 20 plus updates, I turned the entire Google keynote into a quick brief. It's in my free WhatsApp community. Grab it from the link in the description. Right now, let's get into the video.
This script is originated.
Google just shipped Gemini Omni Flash. It is basically Google's new AI model that combines Gemini's ability to actually reason about the world with the ability to create things from scratch. And the very first thing it has launched with is video generation.
By the way, I'm not AI. I'm just connecting to a video.
Until now, most AI video tools needed you to feed them very specific
instructions, so basically they will be able to create the environments
and still could not really understand the topic you were asking them to make a video about, which is why most AI generated videos look nice on the surface but had
various weird flaws.
No real depth or accuracy behind them. With Omni, you can throw in any combination of images, audio clips, existing video footage, and plain text as the input, and it will generate a finished high quality video that genuinely understands the subject matter, because it is built on top of everything Gemini already knows about the real world. So to actually see what this thing can do, let's give it a prompt. Make a claymation explainer of protein folding. Don't use hands or stop motion and make it accurate. The model running underneath this was Flash Extended, which is the version of Omni built for slightly longer video outputs. After hitting generate, the system produced a fully finished claymation video on its own. Watch this. Play video.
Proteins are built as long chains of amino acids. They immediately fold into helices and sheets. This curves into a complex three-dimensional shape. Now the protein is ready to do its work.
What makes this genuinely different from every other AI video tool is that explanation is scientifically accurate. The visuals match what the narrator is describing in real time on screen, and all of it came out of one sentence asking for a claymation explainer. No script was uploaded for the voiceover, and no research paper was attached for the science. Google Search redesigned itself for the first time in 25 years. Now, the search box accepts way more than just text now. You can drop in images, files, videos, even open Chrome tabs as part of your query. Search will analyze all of it together and answer accordingly. The interface is generative too, meaning Search will build a custom UI inside the results page based on what you asked. Ask about astrophysics or visualize how your watch works, and it builds an interactive simulation. Ask it to track your fitness routine or plan a home move, and it builds you a custom dashboard right inside the results. This is going live globally today. The biggest
able to basically use as well as creating as well agentic usage.
Change in Google's
into
search
AI
engine
search.
redesign is that they have put agents right in the search bar.
Yes,
These
so
AI
this-
agents can run tasks for 24/7, from tracking
Yes.
topics you care about and triggering notifications when something changes.
Point.
For example, now you can track a sneaker collab drop from your favorite athlete the moment it's
Yes.
announced, and it will send you notifications when the time comes. Or you can also
Point.
ask it to find something specific, like a private karaoke room for 6 on a Friday night that serves food late, and it will
Yes.
send you relevant options. By adding these agents to the search bar, Google is trying to make its more complex tools accessible for the major public. Google
Yes, it
Search
is.
itself can now write and execute code in real time to give you better answers. Ask a question about astrophysics, or ask how your watch
Yes.
actually works, and instead of giving you 10 blue links to read through, it now builds an interactive simulation right
So basically it is able to create a simulation based upon that prompt even inside of a search. Basically it is basically agentic
inside the results page
ability
that you can play around with
available.
directly. You can also ask it to build you a custom fitness tracker mini app, and it pulls in real-time data like
Right.
live maps and your local weather to make the whole thing actually functional for you. The
Yeah.
interface is generated live just for your specific query, which has never been possible before on
Yes.
any search engine. The interactive simulations and visuals will launch globally this summer, completely
Right.
free for everyone. Google also launched Gemini Spark, a 24/7 personal AI agent to help you navigate your digital life. Not only can this assistant answer your questions, but also do real work on your behalf and under your direction. For example, it knew that the child Sam's game is tomorrow at 11 a.m. and the parent is in charge of nut-free snacks. So it added suggested items to Instacart and only waited for payment. It's also
Yes.
deeply integrated with the workspace tools you rely on daily, like
So basically the was integrated into work of Google's workplace, so that you basically can add there and be able to do with calendar.
Gmail, Docs, Slides, and more. So it can
Yes.
monitor your child's school inbox for deadlines and submit a daily report to both parents, or automatically check your monthly credit card statements to flag new or hidden subscription fees.
Fine.
There are infinite use cases. The best part is, because it runs on Google Cloud, you don't even need to keep your laptop open for it to work. Google built an agent to give you a personalized morning summary that is designed to be your first stop every day, called Daily Brief.
Yes.
Once you opt in, Gemini goes through your apps every morning. It gathers urgent information from your Gmail inbox, tracks upcoming events from your calendar, and
Yes.
compiles relevant follow-up details into a briefing. Not only does it summarize, but also prioritizes what's urgent and organizes things by importance. You can
Impressive.
find it in your Gemini app on the left taskbar. The Gemini app got rebuilt from the ground up, and Google calls the new design language Neural Expressive.
Yes.
The interface now features fluid animations, vibrant
Whatever colors and be able to be quite pleasing to the eye.
colors, new typography, and haptic feedback when you
Oh.
tap things. Google has
That's
also
the
made it
receiving
much
feedback.
easier to
That's
discover
pretty nice.
and generate images, videos, and music directly inside the app. With built-in templates, you can remix instantly
Right.
without writing long prompts from scratch. The Gemini Live experience has been completely transformed too. So instead of taking over your full screen, it now opens immediately and inline inside the conversation you are already in. This
That's
allows
very
you to
nice.
move between typing and talking effortlessly. Soon, you will
Yes.
even be able to pick a regional dialect within the chat. Google also launched an actual desktop
Right.
application of Gemini, specially for the Mac OS. They are also bringing Gemini Spark to this desktop application in a few months. Once that happens, you will be able to work with your local files and automate workflows. The bigger feature, though, is advanced voice dictation. You can talk to it normally with all the ums or whatabouts that happen as you think aloud. Using the context from your screen, Gemini
Yes.
can turn this speech into clean drafts, right where your cursor is. This Mac app is available
Yes.
to download today for all users. This
So basically for Mac OS, and perhaps it will become even Windows available.
This update is for developers. Anti-Gravity 2.0 is Google's new desktop application built around the idea of working multiple AI agents in parallel, each working on a different piece of the same problem, all reporting back to you. The old version of Anti-Gravity looked exactly like a programmer's screen, with files,
Yes.
code, and a terminal window. It felt like a tool built for developers. The new version has stripped all of that away completely, and the entire interface is now just a chat box that looks identical to ChatGPT or WhatsApp, with only 3 options on the sidebar, which are new conversation, conversation history, and scheduled tasks. So to actually test what this thing can do, we typed one single sentence into the chat box, which was make a Chrome Dino infinite runner game that plays itself in a cyber theme. And we
Yes,
picked
that's
Gemini
cool.
3.5 Flash as the model running it. Within about 4
That's
seconds, the agent had written out a complete plan for how it was going to build the entire game,
Yes,
breaking
it
down the
was able to
visuals,
do.
the cyber styling, the dino movement, the self-playing brain, and the retro sound effects, and we just clicked the proceed button to let it start building.
Yes,
The
those
only
stuff.
manual step from our end during the entire build was clicking allow one time when it needed permission to run something on the computer.
Yes.
When we opened the game in Chrome to actually play it, we hit an error saying the page could not load. So we just
Yes,
typed
yes.
back, this is not working. Please make it work. And the agent started investigating the problem completely on its own without any further guidance from us. It tried a few different approaches, one after the other, automatically, until the game actually loaded properly in the browser. The AI player inside the game was honestly pretty bad at the start, crashing again and again. So we switched back to the anti-gravity chat to figure out what to do next. The genuinely interesting part is that we did not need to type anything new at all because the agent had already noticed the failures from the running game on its own, and it was already fixing the obstacle detection and the jumping logic by itself. We now have a fully working cyber-themed Chrome Dino game playing itself inside the browser with zero amount of code written. For creators who have always wanted custom video tools but could never justify learning to code, Google Flow shipped a new feature called Flow Tools that lets you do vibe coding. It is just a fancy way of saying you build software by describing it in plain English instead of writing any actual code. You describe a creative tool you want, something like a custom video resizer, a color shader, or a visual effects generator, and Flow builds the entire thing right there inside the editor. Alongside this, Google also shipped Flow Agent, a Gemini-powered AI assistant that helps with every other step of the creative process, including brainstorming,
creating images and even videos, it seems to be.
And editing. These sound slightly complicated, but if you like, we can make you a tutorial on some use cases. Let us know in the comments. Moving on, Stitch, which is Google's AI-powered UI design product, just picked up 5 major upgrades. The first one is streaming, which means your designs now render live on the canvas in real time as the AI is generating them, so you can see the work happening and start steering it before the final design is even done, instead of just waiting around for the big reveal at the end. Secondly, you can now start from your existing design instead of a blank canvas by importing a Figma file, a codebase, or an existing site. Just click on Start with your design button and Stitch will read it and build forward from there. Third is in place AI edits, where you can highlight any single element directly on your screen and rewrite just that part of the design with a quick prompt without regenerating the whole layout.
And it's able to be quite impressive.
Fourth is motion on HTML native canvas, which means you can now build real working animations directly inside your prototypes instead of static mockups. And fifth,
and it is able to be basically quite nice, but you have already PNGs being animated and
more import and export options have been added, including .fig files for Figma, plus direct exports to Netlify, Lovable, and Bolt. The big bonus is that you can now import and sync your entire code base directly inside Stitch and work on both the design and the code in one single place. For founders who actually design and build their own products, this is the closest any tool has come to handling the full loop in one workflow. Google Pix is a new AI image creation and editing tool built
so basically even another creation tools for editing
on Nano Banana 2. And the difference between this and other image generators is that this tool treats every element inside as a separate object that you can edit independently. For example, you can select a single object and move, resize, or transform it. You can edit text directly inside the image or translate it into another language while keeping the original font intact. Multiple people can also collaborate on the same canvas at once, the way you would on a Google Doc. This is much closer to a real designer's workflow than a typical prompt to picture tool. It's almost like Google's planning to replace Canva entirely. Last year, Google introduced Google Flow, built with and for filmmakers. This year, they added a new tool called Flow Music for artists, producers, and songwriters. Here's all that you can do with this. First, you can highlight any specific section of a song, a chorus, a guitar line, or just the lyrics, and edit only that part without touching the rest. You can also swap the beat drop without redoing the vocals, or take a rock track and turn it into lo-fi while keeping your melody. It's all powered by the new model Lyria 3 Pro. This not only works for audio, but also video. You can edit any scene by describing the change in plain
and it is able to change the video then, and even sounds and effectively the entire
English.
video.
You can turn day into night, swap a character's outfit, keep the same character consistent across cuts, or rebuild a shot, all without re-rendering from scratch.
So it also could be basically CGI, looking like CGI.
Gemini Omni can also generate a full music video directly from your track. Google DeepMind dropped one of the wildest updates of the entire I/O event. Project Genie, their model that generates fully interactive virtual environments, can now be plugged directly into real Google Street View imagery. What that means is that you can pick a real location from Google Maps, choose a creative style like Ocean World or Stone Age, describe a character, and Genie will generate a fully interactive virtual world grounded in the actual Street View imagery of that place, but reimagined with the style you chose. So in this example, they have picked the Golden Gate Bridge in the US and explored it underwater with schools of fish. But you can also reimagine the Taj Mahal in the 1600s when it was first built. YouTube is rolling out a new feature called Ask YouTube, which is essentially a conversation.
It's able to basically you can use it, and you can and some creators actually can use it to basically see what their best videos are.
Search experience. It lets you type the full query the way you would actually ask it, not just keywords. So instead of typing teach 3-year-old pedal bike, you can just say, how to teach my 3-year-old how to ride a pedal bike. They already know how to ride a balance bike.
Basically, ask you to basically able to.
And it understands the intent. But here's the best part. Instead of returning a list of 20 videos to scroll through, it gives you a structured answer, picking the most relevant videos across YouTube's full catalog, including shorts. And what's more, it jumps you straight to the exact timestamp inside the video where the answer is actually discussed. You can also ask follow-up questions to refine what you're looking for, and the conversation keeps its context throughout. This may sound small, but can save massive time wasted on the platform. Apart from all the software launched, Google and Samsung unveiled some hardware in the form of intelligent eyewear. I got to try it out. In fact, I was the only one in India who got access to it when I went to the Google I/O Summit. And let me tell you, it was extraordinary. It's going to be the future when it finally launches for the public. The smart glasses basically come in two varieties. Audio glasses that deliver spoken assistance directly into the user's ears, and display glasses that overlay visual information in front of the eyes. Here's all that you can do with it. Say, hey Google, or tap the side of the frame to ask about anything you're looking at, pulling reviews for a restaurant you are walking past. You can also use this to navigate with ease, getting turn-by-turn directions. You can also manage calls and texts using the glasses, and even take photos without touching your phone. New voice in front of you. So, the technology that powers this is Android XR, which is Google and Samsung's unified AI-powered operating system. Google is not gating this to its own ecosystem. This is probably because they are going to go head to
because they want everyone to use it, and so basically
head with Meta's Oakley and Ray-Ban glasses. And there's a fair chance that with all Google's capabilities, they'll come out the winner. Google also pushed a major update to Pomeli, their AI tool for small and medium businesses that launched last year. It is now getting full agentic capabilities that genuinely change what one person sitting at a laptop can ship in an afternoon. With this update, the new Pomeli agent first builds what Google calls your business DNA. Which is essentially your brand identity.
So basically, it can basically create some form of review and is able to create some form of basically advertisements, as well as be able to optimize your business.
Either pulling from product docs and photos you upload, or by chatting with you from scratch. From there, it can generate a complete brand book with your custom images, fonts.
So basically, this is basically for advertisers.
And colors. And then you can also design and set up a fully working website in a few clicks. What used to require multiple tools and subscriptions across design and web hosting, you can now run as a single workflow inside Pomeli, with the AI handling everything on its own. If you want a detailed tutorial on this, let us know in the comments. In the science domain, Google announced something called Gemini for Science. It brings together a number of powerful AI tools to help accelerate research. For example, Science Skills is a bundle that connects anti-gravity, Google's agent platform, to over 30 major life science databases.
So basically, they will be able to create, we'll be able to simulate and be able to find the cures for diseases, or be able to predict when the disease is going to come to us a person.
Google's own researchers used it to analyze a rare genetic disease linked to mutations in minutes rather than hours. You can actually find this on GitHub today. Additionally, Google also shared that its DeepMind weather model, WeatherNext, helped the National Hurricane Center predict Hurricane Melissa's Category 5 landfall in Jamaica.
So basically, it's basically even better for saving even lives.
5 days in advance with 80% confidence. For researchers in climate, biotech, and pharma, this might quietly be one of the most consequential parts of the entire event. As generative AI gets better, so does the need for greater transparency. Research shows people can correctly identify high-quality deepfake videos only about a quarter of the time. 3 years ago, Google launched SynthID, their watermark that is invisible to the naked eye. Since launch, SynthID has now watermarked 100 billion images and videos. Millions of people are using their SynthID detector in the Gemini app to verify AI-generated content. Then they went a step further and added content credentials verification, which shows you whether the origin was AI or camera, and if it's been edited with these tools. In this example, Gemini can tell this photo was captured with a pixel camera.
It was basically able to be quite CGPU credentials
and then edited with Google Photos. To make this practice widespread, they are expanding both content credentials and SynthID verification to search and Chrome. This only works at scale if more partners decide to watermark their own AI-generated content. NVIDIA signed on to SynthID.
But you can basically just use some form of software that basically just doesn't have SynthID, and just be able to remove it easily.
Last year. And now OpenAI, Kakao, and 11 Labs are adopting SynthID too. Google just shipped Gemini 3.5, and this is the model that is genuinely powering almost every other Google AI update you are seeing today. They have kicked off the launch with the Flash version, which is the fast and cheap one, while the bigger reasoning model in this family, called Gemini 3.5 Pro, is launching next month. Google says it beats their previous flagship, Gemini 3.1 Pro, across almost every coding, agentic, and multimodal benchmark. But here is the part that matters to you guys. Gemini 3.5 2.5 flash is 4 times faster than other frontier models on output tokens per second,
Impressive.
and it costs roughly
That's
a
quite
third
fast.
to half of what 3.1 Pro costs. For
So basically it's going to decrease in price and as well as increase in compatibilities. So
anyone building with AI, this is going to be the new default.
yes, it
The
is
pattern
new
across all
default,
of them is
but the
unmistakable.
people just are now using still cloud 4.6 and 4.76 most likely because they are it is supposedly the most objectively useful AI element for agentic use. But people are now starting to diversify from it because it has become rate limited and even capability limited because of 4.7. So not a real improvement.
Google is not building AI features anymore. They
Yes.
are rebuilding every single one of their products with AI underneath. Search,
Yes.
Workspace, Android, hardware, Chrome, YouTube, every surface they own.
Yes.
And Google is spending $190 billion in capex this year to make sure it happens. If you want us to make longer tool videos on any of these updates, do let us know in the comments.
Yes.
We are already working on a few. And if you want to watch these launches broken
So and you want to watch my reactions to potential these videos, just comment, like, and subscribe and click the bell and just comment and see it, because this was pretty impressive. Various basically improvements for and various AIs that can edit videos and even just predict the hurricanes are pretty good. It basically means that if you can predict the hurricanes, you can save lives and save even costs, because you can predict when natural disaster comes even like 80% precision, which is quite good. Of course, the improvements still need to be done to get the values be 95% accurate, and if that happens, we basically are basically going to save quite a lot of lives, which is a positive outcome. Of course, there is going to be negative outcome when people just get basically fooled by AIs and tools and things like that. But it means to me, obviously, saying that the capability of LLMs and AIs are basically increasing, and we are basically replacing slowly, step by step, because of the agentic usage and the capacity of basically various types of people, and they won't be able to find a job that easily because their expertise is basically being squeezed out by AI. So to be honest, this was pretty sort of positive news towards AI. For example, for those basically had detected the hurricane and the AI that is basically used to detect the diseases. This is pretty positive, but there's also a negative, as I said, basically fooling people and replacing people, and they not be able, most likely not be able to easily find a job because their basically workflow is being automated by AI. So that's my honest opinion, to be honest. This video that Google had just destroyed every AI tool on the planet 24 hours with free AI. I wouldn't say they destroyed it, but to be honest, they effectively went on pretty much dominant run against them. So this was my reaction to this video about why we browsing. You know what to do. Come, like, subscribe, link the bell. The name's igorkodurman. Also press the bell on my number on my PayPal. You know what to do. Ciao, peeps.